Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
how is everybody?
Hope everybody's enjoying this nice Saturday. The weather
hmm
is conducive to us staying inside.
Yes, it is definitely the season for these homebodies.
Yes, yes.
So,
So,
mhm.
with that said, officially, we are Terrence and Jill.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are newlyweds that have been married for just over a year,
hmm
and we actually met after we were 50.
So there's hope for whoever is looking
Yes,
for
so it's hope.
soulmate.
So we are not relationship experienced, so we're not giving any type of relationship advice whatsoever. However,
Mm-mm.
we do feel
Mhm.
like we have mastered what it took for us to be single for as long as
Mhm.
we were. So
Yes,
we're
yes.
here and we created a platform to where we
hmm
want to uplift, we want
hmm
to inspire, and
hmm
we want to help give advice to those that are in God's waiting room that are
Yes,
still
yes,
seeking love
yes,
and haven't
yes.
found it yet.
Yeah, so if you're praying and waiting for God to send you that perfect person
Mm-hmm.
for you, your person, you're
Yeah.
on the right channel.
Yes.
So make sure you
Yes.
subscribe, share our videos, just so you know. We go live every Tuesday
Yes.
at 8:05 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you turn on your notifications. Also, go back to our other videos. So we've got well over 150 videos here. Um, go back to our first 5 videos to learn more about our love story because it is indeed
Yes.
a beautiful,
Yes.
my favorite love story. But also to hear what we saw in each other and how Terrence knew I was the one and how I knew Terrence was
Right.
the one and all that good stuff. So if you're going through a little bit of confusion or whatever, um, just go back because there is hope. There is hope.
Yes.
So
Yes.
also if you want to keep in touch with us, please click the link and in the description to our website. Subscribe,
Yes.
join our mailing list. In return, we will send you the prayers we prayed. The
Yes.
prayers we prayed when we were single.
Yes.
And so yeah, we want to keep in touch.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
So we got a hot topic today. We got a hot
Yes.
topic. Before we talk about that topic, let me just mention and give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
And I don't even know who the person is. I ran across someone on TikTok a couple of weeks ago. I had never seen this person, a Caucasian guy, had never heard of this person, never seen this person, but he was explaining to someone how God answers,
Mm.
and his the points he gave resonated with us personally, and so we're sharing them here. Of course, we expanded it because that's what we do. Like we'll hear something, and then
It triggers a
it
thought
triggers a
and
thought,
experiences with us. So we
experiences. So
want to share
we
those
want to
with you,
share those.
with our
Yes,
audience.
yes, with that. Yes. So we want to share our perspective and our point of view. So yeah. So are you in the season? Because I remember how I was like when you were in that season, especially all through my 30s and 40s, especially through my 40s, where I feel like, I've been praying and praying and praying, and God is not answering me.
Wow.
Like I feel like, what is going on? It's just like I feel like it's crickets.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of the matter is that he does answer.
Yes.
We were talking about the book of Daniel of how when he prayed when the prayer went forth, the enemy blocked him, but God indeed, the point is that God indeed answers.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about those 4 answers that
Mm-hmm. The four type of
the
answers,
types of
so you can
answers.
have a better understanding
Mm-hmm.
if there is a delay
Yep.
on you hearing that answer or being being revealed to you.
Yes. So what are they, baby?
Well, the first one I would say is the four types God gives, and we're talking about concerning about love. Okay, we're talking about love interest. The first one is going to be the answer no.
And that's the one we don't like.
That's the one we don't like.
That's the one. It's not a maybe. It's a emphatic no, a hard no. He's not the one.
Yes.
No. So how did you know, baby, that I guess
A no is really a discernment,
mm-hmm,
knowing how to discern. Having the wisdom.
mm-hmm,
But to me, I just always felt like love shouldn't be this hard.
Mm.
When you're with somebody and it seems like y'all are arguing or you're fighting or there's some type of tug of war going on all the time, not every once in a while, but all the time, where you feel like, oh my God, I'm just trying to show this person that I care about them. Why is it this hard?
Mm-hmm.
Why come they don't get me and I don't get them?
Mm-hmm.
That can be God telling you she ain't or he ain't the one.
Yeah, for me, it was a silent. It was silence. I mean, for the no, it didn't have to be an argument. Or sometimes I would, have a date with a guy, a few dates with the same guy, and then it just stops. Like he stopped calling, or it's like, or even when I would go out with someone, I could feel like it wasn't something I could really put when I said was discernment, like it's discernment, like I can't really put my finger on it. And I don't know what it is. It ain't about the looks. It's not about, his career. It's not about any of that. It's just like I always say, it's like trying to fit a square into a rectangle. It just don't fit. And so the sad part about no, God saying no, is that he also gives us free will. Mm-hmm. So we can proceed with someone thinking it's a yes, because God will not override our will. So that's the heart. That's why you really need wisdom and discernment.
Yeah. And that's very what's the word? Complicated, almost, for lack of a better term, because we have been taught over the years that, Christians and godly people go through these struggles. So sometimes you can equate going through a struggle is saying, I'm doing it the right way because God's people are always having some type of struggle. So I got to prove to God that I'm not just going to fall off the wagon. I'm going to stay on here because I'm really serious about a relationship, and not understand that God is trying to share with you that person may not be the one.
Yeah. And that's the other thing about the struggle, is like you saying, I'm loyal. We loyal. We in this together. Mm-hmm. This is what, when it's talking about, we're going to have hard times and it's going, and we got to stick it out. No, the fight, when you have a hard time, sometimes when we as a couple are going through a hard time, you're on the same team. But if you're constantly fighting each other and not on the same team, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Going through something lowly, hard times together, maybe financial, or maybe going through the loss of a loved one or illness, but you're both on the same team, and both, but when it's a constant battle between the two, come on, how many more times do God have to say no?
God is love.
God is love.
It should not be that hard.
It should not be that hard. It should not be that hard. And some no's are right in your face with that meme, that meme that has a stop sign hitting you in the face, or some no's are it's just something about it. It's not fitting right in my spirit. Yeah. And that's why you have to have the spirit of discernment and wisdom, and you got to turn it up. You got to keep people out your ear, because people can convince you that that's the one for you, and in your spirit that's not the one.
True.
So yeah. So no. No is a complete sentence. No, it's not the one. So yeah. What's the second one, baby?
The second one is growth. And that's dealing with, reflection and growth. It can be personal growth. It can be becoming, aware of who you are,
Yeah, that's I think grow is the part where, a lot of single people are now, and they're in the season of grow, where it's God's developing you for that person. And sometimes we feel like, I know I used to feel like, well, what's wrong with me? I feel like I'm ready. Well, what's wrong? Well, why am I not ready? It's a pruning season, because what Jill needed to be equipped with to deal with a Terrence may not be what Anne needs to be equipped with to deal with John. So it's that pruning season. It might be some things that, God had to get off of Jill, and God has to get off of Anna, especially after a breakup.
Some things that God needed you to release. to make room for some of the additions that he needed to instill in you.
Yep.
And develop in you. And I will say this, and I said this on several other videos, but because of what we're talking about now, remember, the pruning season doesn't mean God is punishing you.
Right.
So some people take that as, oh, I feel like I'm being punished, or I feel like God doesn't like me. God is trying to develop you into what you need to be successful with what he has for you. So be careful interpreting your pruning season as a punishment or some type of negative, response from God.
A lot of times that grow, when God says grow, it for more than enough, it's a lot of us he needs to get that old soul tie off. You need to go through deliverance. You've got to get some space between the relationship you had and the one he has for you. You got to get some deliverance. And a lot of times, as you said, grow is, equipping me for having to, my husband is called to the ministry. So there's some things that Jill had to be pruned in order to deal with a man that is called to ministry. And so there's, some different, it's grow. We got to go through it. We be like, I want to be there already. I want to have grown already. But sometimes there's a level of immaturity that is not ready for marriage yet. And so we all go through it.
And Jill has always said that marriage is the best personal development program there is. So understand that you got to do some pre-developing before you get into a relationship, and God is going to help you with that. And sometimes it's depending on where you are and who he has for you, depending on how much of growth you need to do. So it's going to be different for every person in every situation.
Yeah. I remember somebody said, and I know we get to, but years ago, I was having a conversation with a young lady, and she was dating this guy, and they was getting to know, and the guy asked, like, what type of man, like, how do you want to, what type of man are you looking for? And she said, I just want the type of love where, I just feel like, a little girl, like I feel like a little girl, and that, and that I could just, and he looked at her and said, well, I'm looking for a grown woman. So this basically is not going to work. And it was like there's a level of maturity that, and to my understanding, that young lady is still not married. So there's a level of really real maturity that has to come where, to be married. So, all right, baby, what's the third one? This is a weird one.
Number 3 is slow. We're talking about patience. We're talking about God's timing. We're talking about, and here's funny, because we were just talking about this just a minute ago. And I was mentioning to Jill, it's like, sometimes a man is chasing you. And what you haven't realized, though, is you may be more athletic than he is. He can't catch you. He's trying to catch you running as fast as he can. So sometimes you have to slow from a sprint to at least a trot to give him an opportunity to catch you. So, but in this case here, we're really talking about sometimes you can miss the lessons and the seasons that you're in because you have so much going on.
So busy.
So sometimes you got to slow down and release some things to make room so you can actually acknowledge what season you're in and where you are and where God is taking you, so you understand where you are on your journey.
And I believe that's one of the tricks of the enemy, that he have mastered making women build these brands and businesses and quote unquote ministries, and making women very busy. So, and building businesses. And so that they will miss the mate. One of the things before I met you, and before we came across each other, I had a successful brand business, The Savvy Servant. And one of the things in my spirit, something said, start closing it down. So back in 2017, 2018, when I was at the height of, my business booming, I decided to start to, because I knew that it was just, how could I bring a mate into this? Like, it was just too much of me. Like I was just looking in a closet and I got all this savvy servant stuff. And this is me. This is what I built. Like bringing you into that. Sometimes God is saying, slow down, slow down, fall back a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people take that as, I will not shrink for no man.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
You got to make room for him.
You got to make room.
He has to make room for you.
He's got to
so
make
there's
room.
some things he has to let go as well.
Yep.
And he has to slow down. Get a lot of things out of his life that he was doing. So
yeah. One of the hurtful things that somebody will say is, you know, I watched you on social media and you didn't look like you had room for me. You look like you're too busy.
And some people don't even understand that statement. How do I look like I don't have room? They don't know me.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. They're looking at you from a social media platform.
Right.
They really don't know you.
They don't. And they don't feel like they can even get to know you because
you
seem like,
you're
good without a man or you're good without a woman. There's no, every time I see him, he's in a
he's talking about all these trips and all
trips,
these
and he's in the pictures with all these women, and he's, you know, he say he want to be married, but his lifestyle doesn't. It's like, dude, God is saying, Gregory, slow down.
Yeah, how you represent yourself gives messages to others, and they're going to interpret that in whatever way they interpret it.
Yeah. So 3 the answers: no, an emphatic no, not a maybe. No, they're not the one. Second is grow. Time to take some. God is saying, listen, let me mature you in some areas so that you'll be equipped to deal with that person that I have for you. The levels that I'm taking you to is, you know, you need a certain level of character, and I need to just prune you in some areas. The third is slow. I got somebody for you. It's the season. I want to bring it to you, but you got to slow down so I can bring it in. Know the season. And the fourth one is what, baby?
Go. And go, we're talking about, you know, really being open to God's will.
Yeah. And you'll know.
And here's the thing. Sometimes it may be with someone or a type of someone that is nowhere close to what you thought for yourself.
What you thought. But how does go feel, baby?
Go feels good. And the reason why go feels good is because of what we said earlier. It shouldn't be this hard.
It feels effortless.
God is love. So when you allow love to come in and God is in this, your conversations are easier. Your attractions are very common
and compatible. Yes.
Your daily routines are very compatible, and it's almost like we talk about it all the time. It's a mirror. It's like looking at each other, and it's like, wow, the things that you like, this other person likes, or very similar things.
Or you want to get to know what that person. Ooh, so you
it
like
just
chess.
Seems like the effort is, you don't have to put in so much effort, and you're going to compare that to when you did put in effort, and you're like, why is this so hard? So you're going to definitely recognize that you're putting in less effort.
Yeah, and it also feels timeless. It feels like we got off the clock. It was like, okay, I'm almost 50. Surely I want to be married, but it was like soon as we knew that we knew that this was God, and God said go in the form of yes, it was like, okay, well,
sleep was better.
It was like timeless. It's like, okay, why do we have to rush? Let's enjoy the moment. Let's enjoy.
Food tasted better.
Yes, everything was just McDonald's together tastes better.
Everything changes.
Everything
because you're
changes.
looking at it from a different perspective.
Yes, we're looking at it now. We're in God's will, God's perfect will, not his permissive will, but his perfect will. It's like, it feels different. It's effortless. There's no, but
it feels good.
And another thing, I felt like I could release. It feels like, go meant like I can just breathe. I can exhale. I can release.
And when you're with the right person, you don't feel like you're competing for somebody that so many other people are also competing for. Once you meet that person and you've gone through everything you were supposed to go through, and God is saying, here's your reward, here's your blessing, here's your answer, and you get with that right person, you feel like, you know what? Like I was telling her, even when I'm doing, whether it's in a business meeting, whether it's at work, any conversation with other women, there's something different about the conversations now, because it's like I'm not looking at them like they may be a possible mate later. I'm only there with them to talk about the business or whatever it is we're doing for work. And my whole focus when it comes to being with somebody is all about her now. So that just takes the stress off, the pressure off. Everything's easier once you find that right person.
And when the right person comes along, you will know.
Yes.
You will know.
Yes.
Now the process may be like, what is going on? Why is it? Because your humanness will creep in, but your spirit man will be at peace. Just your spirit man will be, guys, this God just brought this person.
Yes.
But when, also your spirit will say, no, this ain't the one. Make sure you listen. Do not override no.
Yes. It's an awesome feeling once you go through the process to get to where you wanted to get to.
Yeah. So God has somebody for you. He ordains marriage. He ordains, and so he said it's not good for man to be alone.
Yes.
So you
he also says that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Yep. And obtains favor.
Obtain favor with the Lord.
Yeah.
So guess what? I want my favor.
Yeah.
And I got my favor. Oh. So there's more men out there looking for favor. So trust me, you may not be married yet, but it's coming.
It's coming. It's
coming.
coming. If
All
you
have
want
to do
it,
is put your petitions before.
Yep. Pray. You put your petition and prepare. Pray and prepare.
Yes.
Let God take you through whatever He's taking you through in this season. Slow down. Get your growth man on, because you want to, or your growth woman on, because you want to be at the best version of yourself. And allow God to do His good and perfect work. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it.
So that's it.
No grow, slow go.
Yes. We hope that you guys got something out of this. We hope that it's been a blessing to you. We hope that it helps you enjoy the remainder of your Saturday.
Yep. And if you need prayer, if you want us to agree with you in prayer, go to our website, click the link below, and fill out the prayer request, and we'll touch and agree with you in prayer. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you on Tuesday?
On Tuesdays.
All right.
All right.
Deuces.